I signed a lease on a restaurant and it needs a lot of work because it's opening very soon. But it's an exciting project and I can't wait to tell you what we're doing and a bit about the team behind it. I'm Kelly Johnley. This is Bajan Renovation, the restaurant edition. So this new project, this renovation, this new establishment coming to the Barbadian restaurant scene very soon is a partnership between Chef Creig Greenidge and myself. So I'm going to take you back just so we can come forward. Chef Creig and I have had a working relationship for a few years now. We actually met working on a project, the nation's How to Cook Like a Bajan series. I mean, you could probably guess that he did the cooking, but I was a producer of the series, and a large part of that is getting the kitchen space ready and making sure everything is there for Chef. Also, of course, recording the show. But we spent quite a bit of time together. One thing I could say is that I really not only enjoyed working with him, but I admired his work ethic and how he managed the kitchen. So our rapport grew over time, and I guess you could say we looked for opportunities to work together. We said from then that if there was ever an opportunity for us to have a restaurant, we'd do it. Well, in June, yes, I'm aware it's July and June was just last month, I was here by the Gaja store in the Avenue complex, and I said, Creig, the landlord just told me that this restaurant is available. You interested? Fast forward 3 weeks later, Creig and I have signed a lease and the project has started. Now this project is for the most part a cosmetic renovation, meaning that the structure of the restaurant is here. However, there is quite a bit that needs to be done to get it up to standard, to be open, but not only that, to pass an inspection. But I'm pretty comfortable that we will be ready for our October opening, largely because I am working with a team that I'm familiar with and people who are really good at what they do. So I mentioned that I am working with Chef Creig, but I'm also working with Melissa Browne, who is a designer, as well as a contractor and a muralist, Shane Eastmond. And together our efforts will bring the space together. Well, you know what comes next. Come and take a look. So everybody, this is Melissa. You would have seen the highlights of Melissa in a previous episode for the project that we did in Coverley. So I was quite pleased when she was available to work on this. So we had a few chats before we got here today, and Melissa, I want you to just tell everyone what we've done before and why we're here today.
Okay, so this type of renovation or interior design is more, to me, creative. So it's not like doing a residential project where you already know, okay, for a bedroom I need X, Y, Z, for a kitchen I need this. This takes some imagination. So when Kelly contacted me, we already had a look. I looked around. She gave me her idea of the themes that she was looking at, her logo, her colors, the type of food that would be served here. I kind of had an idea of a layout, the floor plan. I had to make sure of the furniture that would fit in here, how many people she wanted to seat, all of that, before I could even think about bringing on a contractor. So I already did a small sketch. We already kind of scoped out furniture. We already kind of looked at the sizes, because this space, when you do see it, is not a very big space, so people have to be comfortable when they sit down. But we also want to bring in some imagination and creativity, not only function, based on her theme. So that's what the preliminary work is all about. Usually, you would meet with someone, they give you an idea of what they want, and you kind of work from that. But when it comes to a restaurant, you kind of have to think a bit more and create a bit more before you actually start doing the work. So that is the preliminary work. Already the layout is there. It's a small sketch, it's not finished, but I have to do that in order to relay the information to my contractor. Now we kind of know what goes where, the ideas that we have. Of course, we have to see if we can afford these ideas, all of that Kelly just talked about. But at least I could tell the contractor know what needs to be painted, where we are putting lighting, where we are putting decorative plants, where we are putting a backsplash, what needs to be cleaned up within the kitchen and service area. So he has a good idea, because that is what the layout helps me to do, and to relay that information to him. So we all have a plan, we're working within that plan, and as Kelly said, the only thing that changes that helps make that change is the budget. To see if because imagination can run very wild.
Very, very wild.
very wild. And you want all these beautiful things, these lights and all of that, but when it comes to budget, you have to then become practical. So at least the contractor knows we need 6 lights, we need definitely to paint, we need to clean up the kitchen, we definitely need a backsplash. So these are needs again versus wants, and that's what we're working through here today.
Now, I'm very excited to share this. I've worked with Melissa before, but I've known this man here his whole life. So this is Shane Eastmond. He is a fine artist and a muralist, but the most important thing is that he's my brother. And when I was just the other day thinking about the space, how can we really give this space some personality, bring it to life, and also create something that when people come in, they feel comfortable and excited. I don't know why it took me so long, right? I was like, Kelly, call Shane. Shane has worked with a number of restaurants. I've seen his work in Cosmo. I have seen it in Tapas. I've seen collaborations on the side of Cocktail Kitchen.
Correct.
And that's just the restaurants. I've also seen a number of his pieces for private clients. And I am like, Kelly, you got this whole man here in your life and you ain't called Shane yet? So earlier this week, Shane came down and gave a look around to make some suggestions of how we can really enhance the space, but also how we can make it a multi-purpose space. Because I know, Shane, one thing I was saying to you is that yes, it's a restaurant, it's a place where people eat, but a restaurant is a place for experiences, and all the experiences don't need to be people sitting down at tables.
Absolutely.
And you expanded the conversation by saying, no, you could host art events, you can host events in the evening, and you shared some ideas with how we can enhance the space, not just with art, but with function.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what is your suggestion? And we will discuss if we can afford this suggestion later, because he might be my brother, but he don't work for free. So Shane, tell me.
Okay, so most importantly, what appears to me is the viewpoints. As you enter, of course, you have this area here, but your viewpoints right now are buildings and car park. And my suggestion would be to eliminate some of that with a floating mural with some negative space around it. They would float horizontally, and that would include some tropical and heritage themes to go back with 1, your menu, and 2, the environment that we're trying to.
I like how that sounded. A floating mural with tropical and heritage themes. Not just a painting, a floating mural with
Correct.
tropical and heritage
Probably
themes.
one of the first of its kind around downtown right now. So I think what will also be wise, you would have your mural on the inside, and you can put your branding on the outside, so as people pass by, they can know who this is and what's going on.
He's a smart boy, you know.
I went to school.
You at school. No, because the thing is, one of the things that we have been working on, another behind the scenes activity, is that the logos are being refined, things are being ordered, and the graphic artist did ask, where is the logo going? And I am like, listen to me, I got bigger fish to fry right now, right? But it actually makes sense to put it there.
Yeah.
You promise it's gonna look good, right? Because you know it's gonna be very awkward.
I'm best in town.
You're the best in town? Better tell mom. I'm gonna tell mom what you did. But I'm excited, Shane, and I really am looking forward to seeing how the menu and the food and the people fuse together.
Absolutely.
And I love the idea of using the space at night for private functions. And I could see how the artwork would lend to it.
Absolutely. What's really important is how the art makes people feel when they enter the space. And it does transform all of that emotion as soon as you lay your eyes on it.
You got some work to do. You might not be available for lunch on Sunday. You got things to do.
I got things to do.
You got things to do for me. So you've seen quite a bit. The next time we're back down here, we'll be further along and we will be back at the house. But you've met Melissa, you've met our contractor, you've met Shane, and as you can see, quite a few things are happening at the same time, and I can't wait until it all comes together. And when we can officially welcome you to our new spot. I'm Kelly Johnley, and this is Bajan Renovation, the restaurant edition.